Welcome back to Reds Fusion LFC. Big transfer shockwaves from Anfield. Liverpool are going all in for Alexander Isak with a massive £150 million second bid after Newcastle rejected their £120 million offer. Mohamed Salah sends an emotional farewell to Luis Diaz, Konate Snubs Real Madrid to stay red, and Anthony Gordon drops a bombshell on how close he came to joining Liverpool. Don't miss a second of this transfer drama. Like, comment and subscribe to Reds Fusion LFC for daily LFC updates. Liverpool have been told what it will take to secure blockbuster £150 million Alexander Isak transfer. Alexander Isac has already kicked up a stir as he looks to secure his transfer to Liverpool, but a Newcastle hero has said he may need to do more to leave the club with no other option. If Liverpool are to get their hands on Newcastle United talisman Alexander Isak this summer, they'll need him to throw his toys out the pram. That's according to former Magpies forward Les Ferdinand, who affirmed his old club are under no pressure to cash in. Newcastle have rejected Liverpool's first formal bid for their player. The Reds previously made an unofficial inquiry to sign Isac amid rumours of a £120 million deal, but an opening offer has now been rebuffed. Isac, 25, did not join his teammates on their summer tour of Asia and has been training individually at his previous club, Real Sociedad. It was suggested Newcastle want Isac, who has 3 years left on his current contract, to sign a new deal with a release clause that would come into effect next summer. However, all signs suggest the player is intent on leaving in the current transfer window. And Ferdinand, who scored 50 goals in 84 games for Newcastle, has already made it clear Liverpool may require a little more help from Isak's side in order to force a move. The former England international told Goal in March, if they lose Isac, they go 2 or 3 levels back because where do you find another striker like him? What they have to do is convince him this club is going in the right direction, and I'm sure they're doing that on a regular basis. Everyone's talking about him every week, this club's interested or that club's interested. That's in some way a compliment to him and the club that he's been able to perform. They signed him on a big contract and he's still got a few years left with them, so they're under no pressure to sell unless he throws his toys out the pram. Isac has already done so to some extent by refusing to join Howe's squad in their pre-season preparations. But with a month left to run in the transfer window and the start of the Premier League campaign just a fortnight away, an awkward few weeks await in the northeast. Liverpool have been on a serious transfer offensive this summer after concluding hardly any business in Arne Slot's first year at the helm. The Merseysiders already broke the British transfer record by signing Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen in a deal potentially worth £116.5 million. That's in addition to the arrivals of Hugo Ekitike, Jeremy Frimpong, Milos Kerkez and Georgi Mamardashvili, totaling a combined £165 million. But the reigning champions of England appear intent on one more statement signing in Isac to complete their splurge. The risk for Newcastle is that they choose to force arguably their most valuable asset to stay at the club while he's unhappy. Mohamed Salah issues emotional farewell message to Luis Diaz after Liverpool exit. Luis Diaz completed a £65.5 million move from Liverpool to Bayern Munich earlier this week, and Mohamed Salah has broken his silence following the exit of his former teammate. Mohamed Salah has assured Luis Diaz that he won't be forgotten at Liverpool following his big money move to Bayern Munich. The Colombian wideman brought the curtain down on a glittering 3.5-year spell at Anfield last week. Bayern Munich paid £65.5 million for Diaz's services after he helped the Reds to the Premier League crown last season. He netted 17 goals in his final season on Merseyside, and his stellar form, alongside that of Salah and co., was a big factor in Liverpool's title win. With Diaz now officially a Bayern player, Salah has penned a touching farewell message to his former teammate. Sharing a host of images of the pair, the Egyptian frontman wrote, "Your energy, drive, and passion on the pitch have left a mark that won't be forgotten. We were truly lucky to have you at Liverpool, and it's been an honor to share part of your journey and success story. As a teammate, you were more than reliable, you were inspiring. As a friend, even more so. We all saw the strength it took to keep going through the tough times off the pitch. What you went through would have broken most, but you came back strong and gave everything for the club. That kind of resilience sets an example for others and earns nothing but respect. Wishing you all the best for what's next, Lucho. Salah rounded off his message with, Siga haciendo orgullosa a su gente, which translates to, keep making your people proud, alongside an emoji of a Colombia flag. Diaz actually mentioned one of his Liverpool teammates in his introductory Bayern Munich press conference, but it wasn't Salah. He claimed summer signing Florian Wirtz gave him advice ahead of completing his move to the Bundesliga. Who else should Liverpool sign this summer? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Diaz said, I know what kind of football is played here. Florian told me that the Bundesliga has a high intensity, comparable to the Premier League. The stadiums are always full. Florian wished me a lot of luck. Diaz might not be the only former teammate that Salah may have to bid a fond farewell to this summer. Jarell Quansah, Kevin Kelleher and Trent Alexander-Arnold have all departed over the past few months. But the sales might not stop there. Federico Chiesa, Harvey Elliott and Darwin Núñez have all been linked with exits. Liverpool are expected to use any funds generated from their respective moves away to finance a swoop for Newcastle star Alexander Isak. Ibrahima Konate responds to new Liverpool contract offer to snub Real Madrid. Liverpool defender Ibrahima Konate has made up his mind on his future amid interest from Real Madrid, according to a French source, with the Anfield star's comments on next season also indicating his state of mind. Madrid have already signed a defender from Liverpool this summer, bringing in England international right-back Trent Alexander-Arnold, and the Spanish and European giants have set their sights on Konate, who is out of contract at the Premier League champions at the end of the 2025-26 campaign and has not signed a new deal yet. Madrid had initially wanted to secure the services of Konate on a free transfer next summer, but manager Xabi Alonso is insisting on bringing a new centre-back now to pair with Dean Huijsen to allow him tactical flexibility to play with a three-in-the-back system or a flat back four. Spanish publication AS reported on July 15 that Liverpool want €50 million, £43.6 million, $58.6 million. For Konate, but Madrid are not willing to pay more than €25 million, £21.8 million, $29.3 million, for the 26-year-old. It has since emerged that Liverpool have offered Konate a new contract, with Footmercado revealing on July 23 that the Premier League champions are ready to bump up his salary. Journalist Sasha Tavalieri also reported on X on July 23 that Konate received a new contract proposal from Liverpool and added, this offer would significantly increase his wages. Konate now considering options as he opened the door off the record to Real Madrid recently. French journalist Abdella Bolma has now brought an update on Konate's situation, reporting that the defender is keen on staying at Liverpool and signing the new deal. Bolma wrote on X at 11:11 a.m. on August 1, Liverpool and Ibrahima Konate are still in talks over a contract extension. No full agreement yet, but the French defender is happy at the club and keen to stay. #LFC, what Ibrahima Konate has said about next season. Liverpool won the Premier League title with relative ease last season, as Arsenal failed to last the distance and Chelsea and Manchester City were never in the race. The Premier League giants have made some massive signings in the summer transfer window so far, including Florian Wirtz and Jeremy Frimpong, with the arrival of Alexander Isak from Newcastle United also a distinct possibility despite an initial bid getting rejected. Anthony Gordon reveals how close he came to joining Liverpool amid Alexander Isak interest. Liverpool was interested in signing Anthony Gordon from Newcastle United last summer, but the deal fell through when the Magpies sold Elliot Anderson and Yankuba Minte instead. This summer, it is Alexander Isak who Liverpool is chasing in the transfer market. But a year ago, it was his teammate and boyhood Reds fan, Anthony Gordon, who was the subject of big money interest. In 2024, Liverpool went as far as verbally agreeing a deal that would have seen Gordon move to Anfield for a fee of around $100 million, £75 million, with Joe Gomez heading to the North East for $60 million, £45 million. It was a swap of sorts, but the transactions would have been separate for PSR purposes. Newcastle was scrambling to comply with the financial regulations as time ticked by, and Liverpool spotted an opportunity. In the end, though, the deal didn't happen because the Magpies sold Elliot Anderson and Yankuba Minte instead. Gordon, however, felt that the deal was going to happen. And as a result, he can understand how Isac feels this time around, with reports suggesting that a bid has now been submitted for the Swede. It's true, that was the case, Gordon has now told the Daily Mail. I would never lie. It was difficult for me because 1, I had the Euros, which was horrendous for me mentally. I was there, I wasn't playing. Then I had the transfer stuff. With PSR, I thought I was going to leave at some point in the window. It didn't happen. I had to get my head around that to begin with, thinking he was going, and then to get my head around it again, when it didn't happen, was hard. I'm a human being. It's really difficult. That is why I understand what Isac, is going through. I feel for him. He will be going through a lot. The club is going through a lot. I hope everyone gets what they want in the end. Shortly after last summer's transfer window closed, Gordon signed a new contract at Newcastle. He has been tentatively linked with a move again this year, though he appears set to stay. I've had a full summer off, 5 or 6 weeks, with my family and friends, Gordon said. You can see, I'm really refreshed. I've got my appetite back for football. I feel that. I didn't have that last year. Gordon added, I understand what Alex is going through. What I can say, for me, is that it's been an absolute pleasure to be out of the transfer speculation for a summer. It's the first time in about 3 years. It's been so easy, so mentally refreshing. Keep me out of it. I'm not linked to any clubs, and I'm very happy where I am. I'm enjoying my football again. Liverpool prepares second Isac bid after Newcastle rejection. Newcastle United had rejected an official bid from Liverpool for Alexander Isak. Liverpool had already previously made an informal approach, but they've now formalized their interest with an offer. Newcastle have tried to get Isac to extend his contract, they've encouraged him to stay through his teammates, and they've offered him a release clause option for next summer. But the player remains keen to leave, despite his club's stance that he's not for sale. In terms of the value of Liverpool's opening bid, Fabrizio Romano reported that it's a £120 million package, but Sky Sports News claimed the initial offer was £110 million plus less than £10 million of add-ons. Sky add that Liverpool are already preparing a second formal offer, so they clearly haven't given up on the signing just yet. As it stands, Isac is not taking part in Newcastle's pre-season preparations. Officially, he has a minor injury, but Ornstein reports that his absence is his choice, not a decision imposed on him by the club medics. Arsenal had shown an interest in Isac in the past, but the Gunners moved on to other targets, seemingly under the impression the Sweden international wasn't available this summer. That may still turn out to be true, with little evidence that Newcastle are ready to accept a sale. The only information that points in that direction is that the club have started to pursue striker signings of their own, such as Benjamin Sesko and Jon Wissa. Neither transfer is on the verge of completion, nor even particularly close. Brentford don't want to sell Wissa, and RB Leipzig have set a high asking price for Sesko, with Newcastle facing competition from Manchester United on that front. On top of that, Newcastle's valuation of Isac is supposedly £150 million. Even if he does turn out to be available, Arsenal would have had to spend almost their entire transfer budget just for that one signing. Some fans may say it would have been worth it, but the club has rarely operated that way in the past. The Gunners certainly aren't in the race anymore, and it's just a question of whether Newcastle buckle and sell to Liverpool or not. Liverpool told price Newcastle will accept for Alexander Isak as they reject £120 million opening bid. Newcastle sources confirm they have rejected an offer, worth a British record £120 million, from Liverpool for Alexander Isak. Newcastle value Isac closer to £150 million, with the full expectation that Liverpool will return with another offer. Liverpool have wanted him for some time, and TBR Football revealed on Friday that Isac is confident a Liverpool move will go through. If Liverpool can get close to £140 million, that will be enough for Newcastle. Bailey states, Newcastle value Alexander Isak at more than £120 million, so it is not a shock the offer has been rejected. Liverpool intimated last month that they would come in with a bid of around this value. Now the opening offer has come in. Liverpool are not done, they are planning on making a new bid. They have not come this far just to let their dream target go. I am told that Arne Slot, who has fully backed this bid, having known it was coming months ago, told the club's hierarchy that it is possible he wanted him in before the start of the Premier League season, and that remains his hope. I am told that if Liverpool get above £130 million and close to £140 million, then that would likely be enough for Newcastle.